Hi, my name is Dyson Johnson, and I'm doing my mini lecture on perception. In the world, people are exposed to a lot of the same things, yet everyone has their own perception about the world. This is because as people, we consciously and subconsciously filter out information coming from the world and everything around us, only letting information we perceived as important to be stored in our brain. But when people are trying to perceive something, we all do the same basic things. First, someone will select what information is important to actually recognize. Next, one will organize the information into patterns to help keep all the info needed together and organized. Then one will store the information gathered into our brains so that someone can recall it at a later time. Finally, one will interpret the information gathered by making a decision based on that information that has been received. With perception, we don't see the world as it is. Perception is subjective and creative to each individual person. And in perception, we tend to see what is important to us and ignore the rest. For example, someone from Australia most likely will have a completely different perception about the US elections compared to someone who is a US citizen. Heck, the person from Australia could probably not have a clue about what's going on with the US elections, but the US citizens hold the elections with such high regards just because of the perception of importance the US elections hold to each US citizen. So, with perceptions, they have a direct correlation with everyone's actions too. This is because our perceptions lead into our attitude about a topic, which then our attitude leads to how we will behave and react from the information about that topic. So, if you prefer Apple products compared to Android, then most likely you're not even going to want to buy the newest Android phone that is coming out due to you preferring Apple products, even if that Android phone is better than that Apple phone. Now, there are 5 factors that affect one's perception. The first one being age. And as people age, they will view and behave differently through each stage of life. Just how a baby will behave differently compared to a teenager. Next, there's gender. Many men and women have different views on the world. For example, there will be a lot more women worrying about getting breast cancer compared to men. With this worry or perception, more women will go out and get screened for breast cancer more often than most men would. Next is someone's socioeconomic status will affect one's perception too. People who grow up poor or are poor will more often than not value and see the world differently than those who are wealthy. For example, people who are poor will most likely use every single piece of the bread in the loaf, whereas someone who is wealthy may only use the middle or the softest part of the bread. The next thing that affects perception is health. People will view the world differently when they are sick compared to when they are healthy. For example, someone that has cancer and going through treatment would be overjoyed to have a day without any nausea. But to someone that is healthy, that's just going to be another regular day for them. And the final factor that affects perception is culture. The way people grow up really shapes how they behave when they are older. Especially with our diverse country, we can see a variety of cultural differences. For example, how some cultures go to church multiple times a week and other cultures only once, if at all. And from the people who have gone to church constantly will be more likely to continue going to church as they get older. And to the people who haven't gone to church as much will be less likely to go to church when they are older. And all in all, perception plays a huge role in anyone's life because someone's perception is also that person's reality. Thank you.